basilar sulcus, and these are the two raised areas. Okay, so this portion what you see here, this is our basilar portion of the pons. This portion is the dorsal portion or the tegmental portion. Sometimes this is also called as the tegmental portion. And what you see here, this is the inferior cerebellar peduncle. This is not the middle cerebellar peduncle as yet. This is the inferior cerebellar peduncle. So we are just above the medulla. So you get a portion of the inferior cerebellar peduncle going to the. You saw the other specimen where I showed both. You saw how close they were. Yes. You remember the other specimen which I showed you with the two cerebral peduncles? I don't know where is that. Yes. Now look at that. Can you see here? See how close both are. Inferior and the middle cerebellar peduncle. So we take a lower section now, just above the medulla. So here, in this basilar portion, we have some grey matter and the white matter. What is the grey matter made up of? It consists of the nuclei. So we have some distributed nuclei here on the either side. These are known as the pontine nuclei. What are these? These are the pontine nuclei. And what do they contain? They connect with there are horizontal and transverse fibers. So the horizontal connection of these fibers will be the cortico-pontine fibers connecting with the cortex. So cortico-pontine fibers, and then going transversely running will be the pontocerebellar fibers connecting to the either side of the cerebellar hemisphere. So these grey matter, what you see here, these are, diffusely arranged pontine nuclei. Some of these get dislodged and go to the medulla and form in the region of the pyramid of the medulla. What were they? The arcuate nuclei. So these arcuate nuclei, what we saw in relation to the pyramid yesterday when I was drawing, alright, they are the arcuate nuclei which are the displaced pontine nuclei. These pontine nuclei got divorced from the pons and they went and sat on the top of pyramids of the medulla. Alright. Now along with these pontine nuclei we also have corticospinal and the corticonuclear fibers. So along with the pontine nuclei, why? Because you see this, look at this elevation. Look at the elevation on the either side of the basilar sulcus. They are in continuity with what? Pyramids of the medulla. Can you see that? See, these two elevations are in continuity with what? Pyramids of the medulla. And these corticospinal fibers arising from the cortex through the pons go to the medulla. So obviously they will be traversing through the pons to go to the medulla, these vertical fibers. So along with the pontine nuclei fibers, what are these? Corticospinal and corticonuclear fibers, which will finally form the pyramid down below. Alright? Okay. Now, we also have, this is the inferior cerebellar peduncle, and then we have the spinal nucleus and the tract of the trigeminal nerve. Remember, we did yesterday? Spinal nucleus and the tract of the trigeminal nerve. Why? The trigeminal nerve has to emerge from here. Now when we go up, you will see the main nuclei of the trigeminal nerve. So this is the spinal nucleus and tract of fifth nerve. Alright? Spinal nucleus and the tract of the trigeminal nerve. Then you had one central thing, which is the medial longitudinal fasciculus or bundle. Medial longitudinal bundle or medial longitudinal fasciculus. What are the other important cranial nerve nuclei here? You have the abducent nerve nucleus. Where does the abducent nerve emerge from? Fifth. Where does the sixth nerve? At the junction of the pyramid and the pons. Pyramid of the medulla and the pons. You see that sulcus there? Right from there you have the abducent nerve emerging. And then where do you have the seventh and the eighth? At the junction of the olive with the pons. Alright? So you have the sixth and then you have the seventh and the eighth. So here we are taking a section at a lower level now. So we have to see the nuclei of 6th, 7th and the 8th cranial nerves. Alright, so you have the sixth cranial nerve here. Deep to that you have the nucleus of the seventh cranial nerve. And then here laterally you have the nucleus of the eighth cranial nerve, which occupies, you remember? Remember the rhomboid fossa in the floor of the fourth ventricle? The vestibular area was occupying upper as well as the lower triangular area. Remember? And deep to the vestibular area, what was there? The vestibular nerve nucleus. So this lateral area will contain the vestibular nerve nuclei. And how many are there? There are four vestibular nerve nuclei. You have superior, inferior, medial and lateral. Superior, inferior, medial and lateral. A group of vestibular nuclei comprised together. Okay. Now what happens here? At the lower level, remember the uh, upper triangular segment of the rhomboid fossa? Just at the lower end of the medial eminence, what did you see in the pons, dorsal surface of the pons? Facial colliculus. Remember? That was on the surface of the pons. How is this facial colliculus formed? You see these fibers of the facial nerve which emerge from here. What do? They wrap around the abducen nerve. The abducen nerve emerges like this and the facial nerve emerges like this. So these fibers of the facial nerve which go around the abducen nerve, they produce an elevation on top which produces the facial colliculus. Alright? So remember, though it is called facial colliculus, what lies deep to it? Abducen nerve nucleus. Don't get confused in your exam. You'll write facial nerve nucleus lies deep. No, the fibers of the nerve wrap around the other nucleus, which is the sixth nerve of the abducen nerve nucleus. Alright? And below this, you have the lemniscal system in between this. You have the medial lemniscus, right? How is the medial lemniscus formed? Yesterday you tell me?
Crossing the reticular fibers.
Pardon?
Crossing
of the
reticular fibers.
the fibers from the tunate and the gracile fasciculus. They cross, and what are these crossing fibers known as? Internal, what were they called? Internal arcuate fibers. So medial lemniscus contains what type of fiber? Sensory or motor?
Sensory.
It's called the sensory decussation. Alright, so this is the medial lemniscus. So what does the lemniscal system comprise of? It comprises of the medial lemniscus. Then you have next to it a small lemniscus which is called the trigeminal lemniscus. Trigeminal. Trigeminal. It forms by the spinal tract of the trigeminal nerve.
There's another name for trigeminal lemniscus.
That I know of. Then you have spinal lemniscus and a lateral lemniscus. So all these form the lemniscal system. Medial lemniscus, trigeminal lemniscus. Tell me, how is the spinal lemniscus formed? It contains fibers, lateral spinothalamic tract containing the fibers of spinotectal tract. Spinotectal tract along with the lateral spinothalamic tract. They join together and form the spinal lemniscus. Then you have the lateral lemniscus. This is very, very important in hearing, pathway of hearing. Right? You have, listen. Anything? How's it? Internal arcuate fibers is formed by the crossing of the fibers from the gracile and the tunate fasciculus.
And that's the same thing as the medial lemniscus.
They finally join together and form a distinct fiber bundle, which is the medial lemniscus. Okay, so what's this lateral lemniscus? We'll discuss later. This is the important lemniscus in pathway of hearing. Okay, there were two nuclei, now seventh and the eighth cranial nerves. Which is the eighth cranial nerve? Vestibular. So vestibular nucleus. Then you also have the cochlear nuclei. There are two.